Hey guys, welcome back to some more 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross Global just around the corner. I'm pretty pumped for it. March 3, not sure the exact time, but I will be streaming, link in the description if you want to join me at the launch of the game. In this video, we're going to go through all the campaign heroes, and they actually make a really nice team. I've played a lot of early accounts on the JP version testing things, and just using those free-to-play heroes, you can actually make a team that can clear the chapter 5 of the campaign within the first day. Chapter 6 is where you really need that green Meliodas if you want to do fast progress, but you can always borrow one, so it's not the end of the world. But yeah, let's take a look at these heroes and look at the team, and let's get into the video. So we'll kick it off with the Meliodas that you start with. He's the SR one, the blue SR Meliodas. He's okay. He can be used decently. But you're gonna, like, I'm just gonna say at the start, you want to reroll for the green Meliodas. It's a 1 in 5 chance on your first roll, on your first 10 pull. I've got a reroll guide out there, you can check it out, link in the description. But you want to go for the green one. But this guy, you're still gonna have to build anyway. At the end of chapter 5, there's a quest where you actually have to get him to UR level 60. So eventually you're gonna have to build him anyway. So at least a UR. That's where I'd probably hold him for a while. But yeah, level 60 UR. He does his purpose. He's got the counter attack, but it's nothing compared to the green Meliodas. So we'll just leave him there. You're gonna have to build him to UR 60, but he's not the #1 choice of heroes to build, besides the fact that you have to. Next up is the green Elizabeth and Hawk that you actually start the game with. It's a really nice hero. You've got the first skill, which is a defense break, which is really, really nice. And then you've got the second skill, which is a nice AoE. And then you've got a nice heavy single target attack with the ultimate. So actually not a bad, like, sort of AoE farming damage dealer for a free-to-play person who doesn't get many good pulls and doesn't get enough coins to buy something like the Red Hauser from the shop. So she's one that you can build, but not a must. So she's decent for really free-to-play people, but she will get overtaken later on by other heroes. But still, in a lot of situations, that first skill is really nice to reduce defense and get some extra damage in. So that is the Elizabeth and Hawk. Next up, we have the red SR Diane. This is the one that you get through campaign. It's the first one you actually acquire after the original 2. She's not great. She's got the AoE defense break on her second skill. She's got a single target attack, and she's got a nice AoE on her ultimate. It's not that great. The thing with her is you do get the blue Diane with the Gideon a bit later on, and she's just a much better Diane that you'll use in pretty much every situation. Now, the thing about this Diane is she is worth building, like, to, you know, SSR, bumping up into UR like I've done here, because she actually, and this is if you've got the green SSR Meliodas, which is this guy here. If you've got him, she's worth building, because if we go here to team, you can see that she actually provides him with a fate ability. So having an SR that provides an SSR with a fate ability is really nice. So that's pretty much where her uses end, in my opinion. You're not going to use her much, but the fact that she actually gives the Meliodas a fate ability makes her worth it to sort of build, in my opinion. You don't want to specifically be building early game a lot of heroes just for fate abilities, but in this case, I think it's not bad, but she definitely wouldn't be the first SR hero you build up. She comes a bit later on. The second one you're going to pick up is going to be this red Bond. Now, he is really, really nice free to play for boss stages. Basically, his first skill makes it so that he reduces ultimate gauge. And what you can do is you can cheese boss mechanics, especially against bosses that are immune to CC. What you can do is you can let them get their ultimate ready. They queue it up. You use his first skill, reduce their ultimate gauge. And that basically effectively means, as long as you can keep using that first skill against them, that you're going to be reducing their skill slots by 1, because they'll queue up the ultimate, then not be able to use it, so they're down 1 skill slot. He's very important for free-to-play boss stages, and he is another one like that blue SR Meliodas that you're going to have to get to UR level 60 for a quest at the end of chapter 5, so you're going to build him anyway. He is the UR that I would build first, the SR that I would build first before that Meliodas. He's just, you use him more, pretty much is all there is to it, and he's really nice. So you're going to build him. His second skill, he basically goes into a stance that recovers his HP. Level 2, he gets an CC immunity and stuff like that. But really, the main part you're looking at with this guy is just going to be his first skill, reducing ultimate gauge. Really good free to play for boss stages. Now the next hero we get is going to be this blue king, the blue SSR king, and he is absolutely fantastic. His two skills don't do much at level 1, but if you can get them, either of them, to level 2, they become really nice. Level 3 even better. But the first skill, having a petrify for a single target at level 2, is amazing, and his second skill, being a cleanse at level 1, can be very useful at stages as well, but getting it to level 2, throwing a heal in there is really nice. And then on top of that, he's got some real nice AoE damage with his ultimate, and he's just an all-round fantastic hero. Cleansing is a really nice thing to have in the game. And yeah, he pretty much, you'll be pretty much taking this guy into every battle you do early game, especially if you're free to play. You'll end up taking him into arena. You'll take him into the whatchamacallit, the demon, the fire demon, the red demon, and then you'll also take him into any campaign stages. He's just fantastic. Even against bosses that are immune to CC, you bring him in because he's got the cleanse and he's got the heal. He's just absolutely fantastic. Definitely one that you want to build, and you will be definitely taking this guy to UR. No doubt. After that, you're going to pick up this SSR Blue Diane with her Gideon Hammer. She's really nice. She's a really nice free-to-play unit. She has a massive multiplier on her ultimate, which is AoE. She's got a nice AoE as her second skill, and her first skill is fantastic. It's a nice single target damage, but the best thing about it is as you star it up at 2-star, it's going to block enemies from using attack skills, which is really actually niche and nice. So for a lot of it, besides if you have the green Meliodas for boss fights and stuff like that, he's going to be your main damage dealer. But when you go into farming and stuff like that, when you're farming potions, books, gold, pendants, anything like that, she's going to probably take your best set of gear and just get put on her to start farming, at least in the early game anyway. And the other thing is, moving later on, she does have a relationship with King so that she can provide that for him anyway. But I definitely think for most free-to-play players, you're going to want to build this this chick as well. She also increases her own damage at the end of every turn with her passive. She's just a really nice AoE damage dealer. She will get pushed down the list as more heroes come into the game, and as you get further, summon more. But for a free-to-play starting hero, she's absolutely fantastic and definitely one that I would look at building. The final one we'll look at quickly, but you don't get this guy till the end of chapter 5, so he's not as important, is the Gowther. He's not too bad. He does have the ultimate that's going to reduce ult gauge. He's got the ability to reduce rank down skills. He's got some niche use, but overall I'm not a big fan of this guy, and I'd probably avoid him in general. Plus, you're not going to get him to the end of chapter 5, and pretty much if you've got a green Meliodas, you're going to be good for chapter 6, so you don't really need to look at building this guy too much, in my opinion anyway. So now that we've gone through all those heroes, I just want to show you some teams that you can build with those heroes, and then you've pretty much only got to throw in one extra, and you're pretty much set. So you can really use all those heroes. I'd leave the Gowther out. I'm not a massive fan of the Gowther. Leave him out. But to progress through Chapter 5, you can use just all those heroes, pretty much, that you get through campaign, along with this green Meliodas, and clear Chapter 5 in a day. It's not too bad. Chapter 6 will take a bit longer, but some basic teams. We'll look at, say, boss fights first of all. You're always going to want a king in there. What I normally do for boss fights is put king in the first position. So basically, if the boss can be CC'd, I'll put king in the first position so he has the chance to get the petrify on the first turn. If they are not immune to CC, if they are immune to CC, then I'll throw him over here because you're not really too stressed about stacking up his petrify and getting a stun. So that's what I do there. And then in this last spot, especially against bosses that have CC immunity, I'd bring the Bond, because you're going to want to be reducing that ultimate gauge to do that. It's really, really nice. And then this last spot, normally you're going to put the Diane, because she will be one that you probably have leveled up a bit higher than, say, the Liz Hawk or anything like that. And then when you have that comp ready, it's pretty much just filling in your fate abilities and stuff like that. So this one, Meliodas, he's always, for me, going to get that red Diane because I want his fate ability. It does leave King without a fate ability because this is not a free-to-play unit. So then I'd normally just chuck my next best hero on the King, which would be something like this. Over here with Bond, you can, he does have an R unit that gives him his relationship. I wouldn't focus on building that too much. Maybe later down the track you can build him, but once again, he is in the same boat where you just throw whatever you have on. So he'd normally just get like the green Meliodas, something like the blue Meliodas, sorry. And then over here, Diane, for a last slot, if you do happen to pull one of the Griamores, he does give her the Fate skill. So just leveling up to level 40 SR in that early game with him, giving her a Fate skill is really nice. So that's the sort of team that I normally bring into boss stages. If the boss is not immune to CC, sometimes I'll swap the Bond with the Diane, just because King's Petrify, it would actually look something like this. Just because King's Petrify is going to be nice and sort of get you through enough so that you can bring 2 damage dealers in with it and go from there. Now when we look at farming in the SP dungeon or anywhere else where you just want to AoE clear things fast, whether you're farming potions, books, pendants, gold, anything like that, this is going to be my general team. It's going to be with Diane. Diane's just an AoE beast for free to play. Really, really nice. Then we're going to throw in the Lizhawk because she does have that AoE ability. She's also got the armor break, which is nice for the boss stage of those farming stages. And then the final one I normally throw in is going to be the King. Now King's not too bad because he does have the heal in case you get low, and his AI is pretty smart that he won't use it unless you need it. He sometimes does use it just to cleanse, but the other thing about him is he does have a nice AoE ultimate, which is going to help clear waves and stuff like that as well. So that's the basic team, and then this slot here you can throw anyone in. And then for this, once again, you're just going to be looking at, if you don't have the Grimoire in this situation, just put one of your high power ones, but if you have the Grimoire at level 40 or something like that, you can throw him in. This one for the Lizhawk, this is where you're going to find a use for either of your Meliodas. You're probably going to put the green Meliodas over here in the sub just to increase your power so that you do get the first turn. So in that case, for this one, we will put the blue Meliodas on her. Is that the blue or the green one? No, that's the green. Put the blue Meliodas on her, and then King, you can throw the Diane on her there because you're not using the Meliodas as your main hero. At least that gives them 2 relationships and a fate. And then in this last slot, like I said, you'll throw him in there, and then after that, because you want those Dianes as basically support for the King and the Liz and Hawk, you're just going to throw something like Bond there. And that makes up the AoE farming team. It's fairly basic. You want single target for bosses and control, and then for AoE, for farming, you just want the AoE. So that is all the free-to-play heroes that you get through the campaign. The teams you can use for bosses and farming, they just do work really well. Yes, the Meliodas is a thing, but hey, all in all, you can make it work. It's a fantastic team. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you're getting pumped for the launch. I'm really excited for it. I hope you have an awesome day. Thanks for watching. I'll look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.